What's up, guys? Today we're finally getting to install all my ZZ Custom stuff on my Grom. Been super excited about doing this stuff, but trying to kind of do it in the right order. We're gonna install it today though because I'm super excited. So here's what we got. We got the ZZ Customs pegs along with their axle sliders. This is kind of like a bundle deal. I saw it and I had to have it. This is also the Blueberry Illusion color. But yeah, I love the color. I love how they turned out. They make really good products. A lot of the guys in the group that I ride in have these, so I figured this was the perfect way to go. Also, if you didn't notice, I have the single peg, no passenger peg on here. You can get a passenger peg, but I figured, hey, I'm probably never going to have a girlfriend anyways, so I figured this would be fine. All right, so enough talk about these. Let's go ahead and install the pegs first. I've got the bike all lifted up just to show you guys a little bit easier. So we're going to start off on the pegs. Basically, we're just going to take out this nut right here, and you're going to have to go on the other side and hold the bolt as well. So it's a 14 and a 19 millimeter. Next, we're going to take out this 12 millimeter bolt on the bottom of the left side right here. So now we're just going to pound out this main bolt here by hitting on this side, but we're going to take some kind of bar or something you might have laying around. I've always used this little drill bit. So basically we're just going to pound that through. So as this goes through, this will actually hold the swing arm in place so we won't have to drop the swing arm and redo everything. So while I was pounding in on that bolt, I'm getting a lot of tension. So I've added a jack up under it to try to pick it up. And I think this might be adding a little bit of torque or resistance to it. So I'm just going to take this loose, try to work it out and figure out what was holding it. So I just figured out why it was giving me such a bind. So if you go over to this side where we took out that bolt on the bottom, there's nothing holding this anymore. So it was binding by coming out and binding on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that bolt right here, just going to throw that back in there just to kind of hold it for now until this comes out. So now since we got that out, now we can go ahead and take this bolt out. All right, everything's loose except for the shifter. And for the shifter, there's just one 10 millimeter bolt right here. And then just pop it off. So we are going to need to reuse the shifter on the new peg. So if we just flip it around here, we have a little C-clip right here. I have this little tool right here that's for getting little C-clips out. If you don't have it, you can just use like a small flathead screwdriver. So that C-clip is all that's going to be holding on the shifter, so you just slide it off. These little washers won't be reused, so just kind of slide all that to the side. You're just going to need the shifter itself and then the new peg. So now going back to the bike and kind of putting it in place, you are going to need to remove that sensor on the shifter just because it will not fit. So I just got the sensor all taken apart. There's just two wires in there. Probably won't focus for me, but two little tiny wires in there. There we go. So basically I just cut the wires, soldered them together, and then put a piece of heat shrink over it and then zip tied it to the other wire so it didn't like fall down or something. So that's all I did. Super simple, super clean. You don't see any more wires going down here. So hopefully that will allow enough room now so we can put our peg right there and it won't hit the kickstand. So now it says in the instructions that the yellow one is the lower shifter side. So we're just going to cut that off. And we've got the lower shifter side, which is right here. So the red spacer goes at the top. The peg is all together. That was actually pretty easy, not very difficult at all. Now we have the blue washer. The blue washer goes on the bottom with the supplied bolt, and then we have the white, which goes at the top. All right, so they are all installed. Not very difficult at all to install. Definitely the hardest thing about it was getting that bolt through again with the swing arm swinging and stuff. So maybe a jack or something would help. Definitely need something to prop it up, but a jack might help just to wiggle it. But yeah, it worked out perfectly. They look great. I love, like I said earlier, this is the second set I put on, and I love these pegs. Really simple looking, but they look really good. Make sure when you put it on as well that you get your shifter in the right spot. The first time I did it, my shifter was way too low. So just make sure you get that right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we are going to tackle the axle sliders. That should not take anywhere near as long. But man, I'm excited. Again, same thing as before. We're just going to hit this and then have some kind of rod so that way it doesn't all fall. Makes it a whole lot easier. And definitely one of the more annoying things is you can't get your mallet in here to hit this anymore because it's spaced so far out though, it's not even touching the chain adjuster. So that is probably the most annoying thing about running stuff like this. But a quick fix is just take you a deep socket 14 or some kind of spacer and then hit the mallet on that, which will push it in the rest of the way. So definitely one of the more annoying things, but you know, to have protection, you got to do stuff like that. And again, getting the nut on this side, I'm having to do this kind of number to get it in there. But for the price of getting some really good protection, it's worth it, and it's not very, very difficult. So to finish this job, we would basically just take these little Delrin sliders, stick them in there just like that, take the mallet and pound them in. Very easy, but the problem with it is once you do that, you'll have to pull them back out with some pliers and it'll mark up the edges. You know, they're meant to slide, but it looks pretty right now, and I have some brand new chain adjusters I'm about to do after this. So I'm not going to put them on in this video. I'm just going to do the chain adjusters and then I'll put them on. So, but all you do is just put them on there just like that and then hit them with a mallet. So there you go. I went ahead and put on the Delrin sliders on the front. They definitely look really good, definitely stick out a little bit, so that's going to protect your whole front right there. Other than the bar, you need a bar end slider for that. But yeah, it looks awesome. Couldn't be more happy with how they turned out. I love the color of how they turned out as well. So now you kind of see what I'm going for as in a color combination, so kind of a yellow and blue. Going to be getting a sub cage that's going to be blue as well, the same blue. So yeah, I really like how it turned out. Can't wait to test it out. But first, I've got to install a couple more things, and it's way too cold to ride anyways. Hope you guys are enjoying this winter build series. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.